Hi, it's Pastor David Tart again, and we're here talking about the commandments. And today we'll be looking at the eighth commandment: Thou shalt not bear false witness. I like to call this, as well as the Free to Be book, the big name commandment. Your name. For me, my name is David. And when people hear my name, David, when they meet me in the street as David, who do they think I am? Do they think that I have integrity? That is, I mean what I say and I say what I mean and I speak the truth, and they can count on me to be honest with them. That's a real wonderful thing to have. When people know that they can trust you, that you speak the truth to them, that you are not false. Then you can have really close relationships with people. Then you can have the gift of friendship, and you can have the gift of a wonderful family. You can have the gift of a wonderful community when people are honest and can feel free to be honest, and we can trust what each other says. Because once you introduce bearing false witness, and once you introduce lying into a relationship, then nobody can be close. No one can trust. It's just very deadly. So this commandment is all about protecting your name and helping you to be that kind of person and to have those kind of friendships and to have those kinds of families where honesty and integrity are so present. And there are things that's so easy that can take away your good name. And Martin Luther, I think, names the big three. The first one he says is slander. Slander is when you talk bad about somebody behind their back. It's gossip. And I can remember when I was in high school, middle school, how much gossip there was, that people would trash talk other people behind their back all the time. And I can remember how deadly that was, and people were isolated, and a lot of it was false, and it was just so damaging. So what this commandment do is protecting not only your name from slander, but other people's name as well. And so when you hear people talking bad about other people, don't repeat it, don't participate in it, don't agree to it. Just return a compliment. Like Martin Luther says, explain your neighbor's actions in the kindest way. Find a way to say something nice about the person who's being slandered. It will totally diffuse any kind of problems, any kind of action. And remember, if people talking bad about others behind their back, they're probably going to talk bad about you. So it's important that you just let your ears be a grave. If someone tells you something negative about somebody else, just let it stay with you. Don't let it go on. And Martin Luther also talks about lying, not speaking the truth. This too can be dangerous to your name if people know you're always lying. And like I say on the video scribe video, that once you say a lie, it becomes like a feather. And you have to admit another lie. You blow the feather up to keep that lie from being discovered. And pretty soon you have to blow it again. It just becomes this awful cycle of always having to keep a lie a lie. It's hard. So much work, and lying can be so deadly to relationships. You probably remember times when you've been lied to and how much it hurt you. And so just try to be truthful in what you say. And if you don't want to speak the truth, then choose not to say anything. I mean, sometimes, yes, the truth can be very painful, and so you want to avoid causing pain to other people, but a lot of times the best thing to do is just don't say anything. And also, Martin Luther talks about betrayal. Betrayal is don't, when you pretend to be something you're not. When you pretend to be someone's friend, but then you are not their friend and you do something to hurt them, or maybe you're betraying your own self too. You're not pretending to be somebody you're not. That's a betrayal to who you are. And again, those things are dangerous to your name because then people don't know who you really are. So this commandment's all about protecting you and your name and the names of others. And in many regards, it's a hard commandment to keep. It's hard to go through life without, telling what we call white lies or not being totally truthful. It's hard. It's a very hard commandment. And sometimes perhaps it's okay to lie. Like if you're in a tight spot and you feel like you're in danger, it's okay to lie to get yourself out of danger. Or maybe someone's going to do harm against somebody else. In those situations, it's okay to lie about that too. But remember, though, it's all about protecting your name. And again, like I said, this is a hard commandment to keep. And that's why we need the throne of grace. We need to always remember that even though we fail this commandment over and over again, there's always God's throne of grace where we can lay our sins down and know that God rules over our sins and forgives us and gives us a new beginning. Which leads me to the final point I wanted to make with you today. That when we think about lying, and so much lying that goes on in this world, we can remember that we have a God who never lies to us. That God is not lying when he says he loves you. God is not lying when he says you are my child. God is not lying when he says I'm going to raise you from the dead one day. God is not lying when he says I'm always going to be with you to guide you. And I think that is so comforting to think about that we believe in a God that does not lie. Anyway, continue to do your journey, and I hope you find all this real beneficial, and we'll see you next time.